Today we're starting Unit 2, and our first lesson is going to be on solving multi-step equations. So we've spent some time already distributing, simplifying, distributing and simplifying. So that's why we did this, is because of what we're going to be doing today. So first thing you need to remember is if we see parentheses, we are going to be distributing. So I'm going to mark off some things. You have highlighters if you need them. So if you see parentheses, we need to distribute. Then we're going to add our like terms on they have to be on the same side. Do not cross over the equal sign. Do not cross over that equal sign. So I'm going to start and I'm going to look at step 1. You do not have to draw the line, but I'm going to do it to show you that we have a left-hand side and a right-hand side. This side over here needs to equal 10. So that's what we're trying to figure out. What would we have to replace h with so that it would equal 10? So I start. Step 1 says if there are parentheses, I have to distribute. There are no parentheses. Step 2 says add like terms. So I look for my like terms. So I can see that I have 6h right here. And again, do not forget that sign in front, sign in front, sign in front. So I have 6h plus 3h. That's going to give me 9h. And then I have 2 and 17, which is going to give me 19. So instead of saying 6h plus 3h plus 2h plus 2 plus 17, I'm just going to say that's going to equal 9h's and 19 just numbers. I did nothing to the left-hand side. Sorry, the right-hand side. So now I'm going to move to step 3 because I've combined my like terms. Now I'm moving to step 3. Now from here, it's just like you've been doing already. You don't have to circle, but I'm going to leave this as a step. We're going to circle this variable and anything attached to it. So don't forget that sign in front. This is where we're going to zero out the constants. And the constants are just our numbers. And we use inverse operations. So we're going to move them to the opposite side of the variable. We do not move them to the same side. So right now, and most of you are getting this, so I'm going to leave the 9h here. This is stuck. That's why I circled it. That's stuck. And now I'm going to subtract 19 from this side, and I'm going to subtract 19 from this side. This keeps it balanced. If I do it to this side, I have to do it to this side. It's got to stay balanced. So now I'm going to take, this becomes 0. This becomes 9h on this side. And then 10 minus 19, or 10 plus a negative 19, either way is going to give me negative 9. Our last step is going to isolate, meaning get that variable all by itself. So we're going to isolate the variable. I like to use x, so a lot of time mine is x, by inverse operations. So this is why I always say, what is being done to h? H right now is being multiplied by 9. So the opposite of multiplying is to divide by 9. By the exact same number. So in this case, there's a positive 9, so I divide by a positive 9. So this becomes 1, leaving me with h equals negative 1. What this means is that anywhere I see h, I could replace it in here, and it should equal 10. So like if I put it here, I'd have 6 times h, which in this case, h is negative 1, so 6 times negative 1 is negative 6, plus 2, and then 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, and then plus 17. So I should get 10 by the time I'm done. Well, 6 negatives and 3 negatives is 9, and 17 positives and 2 positives is 19, and that would give me 10, which is exactly what I want. Or you could put this in your calculator right here and check it if you don't believe me. All right, so one more example we're going to go over. Step 1 says if there are parentheses, I'm going to have to distribute. So I'm not touching anything on the right-hand side right now because it is not affected by the parentheses. This, most of you are really good at dropping this down. This is where we struggle. Sign in front, sign in front, sign in front. Negative 3 times negative 6 is a positive 18. Don't forget your variable. And then negative 3 times positive 3 is negative 9. still equals 31. Step 1, done. Step 2, we're going to add like terms on the same side. So you'll notice there's nothing over here to do. It's just 31, so I can leave that 31. But I have 2x's and 18x's. So instead of saying 2x plus 18x, I'm going to say 20x's. Together, I would have 20x's. And I still have my minus 9, and it still equals 31. I didn't change anything. I just simplified it. Now, this is where I circle my variable and anything attached to it. That is stuck. Stuck, stuck, stuck. Step number 3 says zero out the consonants. So just our numbers. Anything that's not attached to our variable, we're going to zero out by inverse operations. So right now we have a minus 9. So the opposite would be plus 9. But if I add 9 to this side, I add 9 to this side. Has to stay balanced. So this becomes 0, leaving me with 20 x's on this side, and 31 plus 9 is 40. So we still have 20 x's equal 40. Our last step is to isolate the variable by inverse operations. So right now I'm timesing by x, or by 20. I'm timesing x by 20. So the opposite of timesing is to divide. So I divide. Anything divided by itself is 1. But if I do it to the left, I do it to the right. And so x equals 2. And you can plug x in back here and put it in your calculator and see if it comes out to 31.